Okay, I was wondering if I could get you to introduce yourself and tell us about where you're from.
Yep, no worries. I'm Mark Metcalf. I'm a secondary school nurse and I work at Shepparton High School and Maguire College, and I'm part of the Taking Care of Me program here that's running at Wanganui also.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about the part that you play in the program?
Yeah, well, I'm the coordinator of the program. I organise the dates and the times and all the different guest speakers to come into the program, and I also run one of the rotations, which is about the influence of pornography as well.
Okay, so what's the overall rationale for the program then? What's the reason it runs?
Well, the rationale for the running of the program is to provide a very quick, intense amount of information about sexual health and decision making for Year 9 students, and for us to be able to have a number of different experts at the same time providing that information. So currently it's run at Wanganui and Mooroopna and Shep High and Maguire, and we also go out to Namurka and Nathalia to run it as well.
Okay, and then how does it work on the day when you're in the school? What happens?
So we have 6 guest speakers, and the students are split up into groups of around 8 to 10 students, and they spend 10 minutes with at each rotation, and then rotate around after 10 minutes to the next speaker on the next topic.
Okay, and what are the workstations that are
So I run the influence of pornography workstation. We have Dean Lloyd, who's a policeman who runs sex and the law. We have Lee Stanbrook, who runs condoms and how to put them on correctly. Susan Wallace, who's a sexual health nurse, she runs sexually transmitted infections rotation. Stephen Forrester, he runs a rotation on contraception, and Damien Stevens from Kildone and Cutting Edge runs a rotation on healthy relationship. Probably the most important point and the most concerning point that I have about pornography is that in 88% of scenes of pornography, it includes acts of physical aggression, and in 48% of scenes it contains verbal aggression. So there's lots of aggression and violence in pornography. And in 94% of those cases, the aggression was pointed towards women. So if you think about this, you're a young guy who might watch a fair bit of pornography, and you start to see a lot of this aggression and violence and that sort of stuff, and then you've got a girlfriend and you go to have sex with them, you think, oh, they do this on that pornography that I've been watching, that must be what my girlfriend wants me to do. She wants me to do that. She wants me to be violent and aggressive and all of those sorts of things. And so that's what I'll do. And so people get a lot of the wrong message about how things are supposed to work.
Tell me, in the eyes of the law, what's the age of a child up to? Yep. Yeah, so 18, yep. So who would agree with that a child's anyone up to the age of 18? Or do you think it might be younger? What do you reckon? 18? Yep. Everyone reckon 18? Yeah, spot on. So anyone up to the age of 18 is a child in the eyes of the law. Yep, so Dean Lloyd's my name. I'm the Greater Shepparton Youth Resource Officer.
Okay, can you tell us about your involvement in the program?
Yeah, Taking Care of Me program. I come along and part of the program to talk about sex and the law. There's a lot of offences out there that our kids are getting tripped up with. Just not understanding the law around child pornography, sexting, rape, all that sort of stuff. Just giving them the information so they can make better decisions as they mature more and turn into adults.
The correct way how it's going to go on. If you have a really close look on the ring around the outside of the condom, it should be kind of curling up towards the roof. Flip it over to the other side, and can you see a difference in how it's sitting? So how it's sitting now means that it's going to be on the wrong way or the inside out. Thank you. So flip it around the right way now, and you can see that way when it rolls down, it's going to roll relatively easily onto the penis. My name's Lee Stanbrook. I come from the secondary school nurse program through the Department of Education and Training. Yep. So yeah, my 2 schools I work at are Mooroopna Secondary College and Nathalia Secondary College. Yep. Work 2 days a week at each school and 1 day at DHS office there in Shepparton. What we're doing here today at Wanganui is a sexual health program called Taking Care of Me, targeted at Year 9. So from my session with the putting on a condom correctly is to make sure that they use condoms that are in date. We run through where you can get condoms from, both from local youth organisations and also from supermarkets and chemists, etc. And then we go through the technique on how to put a condom on correctly to make sure that we're protecting ourselves and our sexual partner in the best way possible by using condoms.
This is chlamydia. You may have already heard about it often in the media. It's the most common bacterial STI within our community, and the reason it's so common is because most of the time there are no symptoms. So if people are out there having unprotected sex, it just keeps going round and round. And the recommendation from the government is that for young people who are sexually active, 29 years and younger, to have an annual chlamydia test. I'm Suzanne Wallace. I'm a sexual health nurse practitioner. I'm employed by Goulburn Valley Health, and my role is both clinical and capacity building across the Hume region. So I provide clinical service through Goulburn Valley Health, through Headspace, through the Bridge, both in Shepparton and in Seymour, and I also provide clinical service and information at Euroa Secondary College and also here at Wanganui. My background's in infectious diseases, so I've been given the joy of talking to sexually transmitted infections and bloodborne viruses, and for me, I give them a quick smattering across most of the ones they might hear of or come across.
Term before, or let someone change you, and don't try to change other people. You know, you fell in love with or really like this person because of how they presented originally. Try to be true to you, because who you are right now is pretty awesome. Okay?
Yes, my name is Damien Stevens. I'm the Community Development Worker for the Diversity Project at Kildonnan Uniting Care in Shepparton, and I deliver a session on healthy relationships and celebrating diversity. The session I run spends about 4 or 5 minutes talking about healthy relationships, what a healthy relationship looks like, what an unhealthy relationship looks like, and some warning signs. And then the second half of my presentation talks about diversity within relationships. So looking at individuals and how their sexual orientation or their gender identity might play out throughout their years as teenagers and puberty, and then into forming relationships as they move on into their adult life.
Even though these are things that women use, you might actually, it's good to know about them, because if there's any problems that happen with them, you can support your partner in being able to kind of like get some helpful advice. So I'm going to run through the first one, which is the pill. That's the most common type of contraception that women use.
Okay, I'm Steve Forrester. I'm the secondary school nurse at Wanganui School. Also work at Newmarket Secondary College. Okay. Can you tell us about why you're here today?
Yeah, I've been part of the Taking Care of Me programme. I've been doing a workstation on contraception.
Okay. Can you tell us about the sort of material that you're covering?
Yeah, sure. So what I cover in contraception is basically the risks for adolescents when they become sexually active in regards to pregnancy, unwanted pregnancy. Talk about the options that are available for adolescents, the typical contraceptive devices they might prefer to use, some of the risks involved, and how efficient they are.
Your parents aren't able to attend the sessions. How can they seek out more information?
Yep, so we sent out a letter, a parent letter for all the Year 9 students, informing them of the parent information session. If they can't make it, there is contact details on that letter that they can contact either the school nurse at that school or the assistant principal who we work with to schedule the program at the school. And they can contact us with the phone numbers and that if they've got any concerns, and we can certainly answer any of their questions.
When does the